Yes. We are live. Welcome back, techies and scientists. This is another week. This is the second week of January 2026. Yeah, the market is looking kind of good. Price actions is moving and flowing. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a consolidation overnight during London. But so far so good. All right, so what we will discuss today is a little bit of this poly market. I don't know much about it, but that's one thing I'm starting to incorporate into, how to look at a certain geopolitical things. So that's one other thing I'll be looking at. We'll talk about that. And then obviously we'll go through the whole gamut of looking at price action from a daily and then kind of take a look at where we are or where we've moved on from last week and then kind of take a look into okay where we're going this week. Are we going to end up lower compared to last week or we're going to end up higher? So we'll have to see where we land on that. Let's see what else we can cover today. Yeah, I think that'll be all the topics we'll cover today. Nothing new here, nothing too crazy. So last night, I was able to drop like a short, and man, I attempted so many times to record an audio, so the audio wasn't coming in clearly the way I want to. So I gave up and I just uploaded just like that. So you probably will see a short. It will say like a 15 seconds time frame, looking like the subframe of a market, and we'll dive a little bit into that. But you're gonna have to stick around and stay tuned. Probably in the middle of the stream, that's when we'll talk about that. Yeah. So yeah, let's just dive right into this. So poly market. Um, Again, like I said, I don't know much about it. But I do know that there have been some events in the past where there's a big whale that come in and then they'll drive a big bag into that market, and then maybe a couple minutes or maybe a day before, especially when Maduro got arrested, sometime last week. I believe there was one of those topics. I mean, there was like a big huge spike. There's a big money that got dumped into it, and then the Venezuelan market obviously spiked up a little bit before the arrest. So this is kind of like one of the things you wanna keep it in your arsenal, but at the same time, you do not wanna have too many tools that you're looking into because you're gonna end up with analysis paralysis, and you definitely don't want that. You want to make sure that you have enough information, just not too much information. So yeah, so that website is polymarket.com, and I just kind of like keep it strictly to the economy. Uh, Political, yeah, I mean politics kind of affect the market a little bit, but not as much. It's just an excuse. But I just strictly keep it there to the economy, and I keep it on that. Let's see here. Alrighty. So let's take a look at the economic calendar. See what we have today. So as you can see, I always kind of like follow the same step, the same process. You take a look at the economic calendar first, see what's going on or what's coming. So because everything in trading is based on time first, then price. So it behoove you to kind of know okay what time certain events will happen. So to yesterday we had the CPI. It was a big number and there was a lot of action. I don't want 8:30 yesterday, so that's a big deal, right? And today we had the PPI. Wasn't much going on there. At least it's not delayed. The PPI was probably what's causing the market to go down a little bit. I mean, the market was bound to go down regardless, but they just used those economic events, especially the red one, to kind of like drive the market as an excuse. and then kind of like give the retails like CNN and Fox News and Bloomberg something to talk about. It's a whole machine, man. It's a whole machine used against you. I believe sometimes in February, I will cover some of those Fed speeches. I mean, one of the live streams, I'll be covering that a little bit. Because sometimes you're looking at all this Fed stock. I mean, we're talking about here, and then trying to understand what do they mean. I mean, do this Fed or do they matter really in the grand scheme of things? Yes, they do. The words is the most powerful. So they are using what I call the credible threat theory, meaning in the past they've used certain tools such as increasing interest rate or decreasing the interest rate, which is very very big indicator for your trading style, right? If you're trading, you need to understand whether if we're in quantitative easing or if we're in quantitative tightening. So this is one of your biggest indicator, the Fed and what they are doing. And I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so in February I will be talking about some of those Fed speeches from the past, and what do they mean and how they can affect your trade, and the difference between quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. I mean, I had a post back on my community tab back in December, kind of show you the difference between quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. You do need to know the difference and how it can affect you. Nothing else will affect your trade more than that. And just because we're doing quantitative easing doesn't mean that it's going to be buy, buy, buy at all time. Doesn't mean that it's going to be smooth sailing and easy trading. But things will definitely get a little bit easier. Okay, so there's that. What else we got going on for the rest of the week? So we have a jobless claim at 8:30. I wouldn't worry about that as much. But if they want to do something, they can use that as an excuse. And then Friday seems to be very quiet. Housing market index, well, that probably mattered back in 2008, 2009. Not so much today, and I'm sure it will matter at some point, but not at this point. And trying to see. Yeah, let's take a look at seasonal tendencies to see where we are. Bam. Man, yeah, we're nose diving. I mean, we're diving a lot lower than needed. So let's see. Today is January 14. Like we're the one after January 14. We usually get a small pullback, a small retracement. But this is not what we're seeing today. We're seeing a big pullback, and it coming a little bit earlier than usual. Yeah. So with a strong pullback, you may see a strong price back up, but I mean I wouldn't hold my breath. But so far at this point, when we're looking at historically, and we're looking at what the market is doing right now, it's kind of like a little bit early and on the contrary. So we're a little bit a day early for a small pullback historically. Okay. Let's see what else we can cover here. So my thing is, so the main question you may be asking, okay, so how far is it gonna go lower and lower today? It potentially can. But yeah, let's take a look at that on the daily to see how far lower can it go today, and then that will kind of like help us determine our bias, right? All right, so I have four quadrants. Right. So you have the one on the upper left hand corner. This is the daily. Okay. And it looks like it's pulling back. I mean, I was almost certain that it was gonna go higher from here. I did not expect such a strong pullback. Definitely not today. And then at the bottom lower left hand corner, we have the 1 hour chart, and the right hand upper corner, you have a 15 minutes, and then you have a 5 minutes. So this probably is my favorite to look at, especially on a day like this. You see a lot of movements, and then you're trying to decide, okay, I mean, which side am I on? Should I go long? Should I go short? Is it gonna dive in a little bit lower? I don't know. So, me, to be honest with you, at this point, if you probably need a strong answer, I would say probably wait until 1:30 to see what price does, because it may pull a little bit lower. And my thing is, see this one. Let me take a different drawing. That low here on the 5th of January, if we get a leg lower, then we're more than likely, I'm talking about right here. Come on, there you go. If we go lower, if price close lower than this, then we may be sliding a lot lower than that. So I'm talking about to the level of 25 to 68. And again, I'm not saying you need to wait until you get to 225 to 68 to go short. What I'm saying is, if price end up closing lower, and then you have today when the market open again at 6, you may see price go a little bit higher, and then go slightly lower to target these relative equal lows right here. Okay. So we have all these open areas, all these clean areas. I mean, mostly we'll tell traders, they will see, oh yeah, this is resistance. I mean, it's resistance for now, but trust me, I don't know what would be the event that will make this, punch above this, but whatever that event is gonna be huge, massive price action. It's gonna be massive, and it's gonna be over a couple courses of the days, and then it's just gonna go bam, 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 and then just smash these highs right here. We're talking about 26/11. I'm thinking by spring, before the summer. If not before the summer, it will definitely happen. Like I would say, right around October, November of this year. Yeah, but hopefully sooner than that. I mean, that would be a long time to wait to go long. Okay, can anybody hear me? I have to put a different screen to kind of like show me what's going on to see if there are any defects or any skip frame detected. So it's just like managing a whole lot. All right. So what makes me frame the idea that price may go to 25 to 68? So you have a high here, and it looks like it broke above the high. What day was that? It was on the 6th of January, so that was early last week. Kind of break over, slide down, went higher again, down higher. So reason why I'm saying it's going to probably go slightly like around that area is because it broke above that high at 25 800. So because it broke above that high and floated around it for so long, and broke that support right here today, and after it broke below it, went back up, and then dive lower, which is what makes me think he's gonna aim for these lows right here. I may not do it today. I'm certainly not in favor that he may do it today, but I will say by end of the week until next week, he may dive much lower. But at this speed, at the speed that the market is moving right now, it may get there by end of the today or tomorrow. Then obviously once you get down there, you have to dive into a 5 minute chart to see if you get a big price action like this. Like if you get a big white candle, it goes up and above a relatively core low here. Like if you went above it and then come back down and did not violate the low you just created, then you know it's bullish. It's gonna resume higher and higher. Okay, so let's take a look at the charts, the blue charts, my blue screen, and then I'm gonna take a dive into the 15 seconds time frame, kind of show you how and why I use the 15 seconds time frame. I don't use it all the time. I use it sparingly. You have to make some modifications here. Let's see. Come on, give me the sidebars. There you go. Let me do something here. All right, anybody has any questions on the chat? Feel free to ask me any question that you want, especially after I drop that short. I'm sure it'll probably draw a lot more confusion than it helps. So definitely let me know if you have any questions, especially around why 15 minutes time frame. What will be what do I go about framing how to get there? So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Because sometimes I don't know what you guys don't know. So because some people say, well, the 15 seconds time frame is a lot of noise, they wouldn't get into it. And to me, I'm looking at it. Well, this is another level or layer. I can go much lower, especially if the 1 minute time frame doesn't give me anything. I can put a trade on. So diving on a lower time frame will definitely give me like a very good clue. All right, did I do what I needed to do? All right. Whew. I feel like I need a new laptop already. I just got this laptop, man. It's not even a year old. And I feel like I need another one already. I mean, if these issues persist, then I think I'm gonna have to get a new one. All right. So last week, post in the community tab, this red area right here. This is like an old contract liquidity, weekly liquidity void from December 2025 contract. And yeah, and that was a frame back in October 10 of this is when those gaps were formed. I think it was October 24 and October 27. It was a big gap up. And then after that, obviously, it went lower from there. And now we're trading much lower at like a one right around that gap. I mean, it traded higher, then dive a little bit lower now at this point. Um, So as you can see, that gap or liquidity void, whatever you call it, I call it void is because there was literally very little wick there, and there was nobody candles, there was no candles, no wick. I mean, it was just an empty, which is why I call it vacuum or void. Okay. So as you can see, this is still affecting your trade as of today. I mean, right now, look at it, moving around it, gets it a little bit, drop, went higher, drop lower, like it goes in consolidation. Like every time you see this, even if you did not have this on your chart, every time you see this, what you need to do is take like you'll take one of your instruments here. Can you come? All right, and let's just say we use that one, that big horizontal, and let's just say I drop it here, and you take the same thing and then you drop it there, and then you keep going up a time frame. You go up to an hour time frame, daily time frame, weekly daily time frame. I mentioned that already, and then weekly time frame, and then the monthly time frame, and then to say, okay, why there's so much consolidations on that particular area, and it'll give you the answer of what you need, and then it'll quickly tell you that yes, there was a gap there like a while ago. You didn't account for it, and that's how I was able to discover this gap. Is because there was all this consolidation, and then there was multiple point, and where I see that the price keep touching on the same point. I'm like, there's something to that. So this is what I meant. You see, like this red line, this green line here, like it went above it, come down, touch it a little bit, and then dive lower, like come and wind it, and kind of does the same thing. And then you're like, man, this is weird. Like, why is it acting on that line? And then I don't want to scroll all the way to the left. Like, if I scroll all the way to the left, you kind of like almost see the same thing, and then you see that one level. Like you see price action just kiss around it at all time. And then you just need to do the same thing, drop a line, then after you drop that line, and then you go up a couple time frames, and then to see what's causing all of that. And then if you have to go back one or two old contracts, meaning December contract or September contract 2025, you probably have to do that, and then you'll discover, oh, okay, now I see what's going on there. And then once you refer it a couple times, there's a high probability it's going to refer to it again in the future. Yeah. So I want to kind of like give you some of the tools. Like I always said, when you're looking at market price like this, you wanna kind of take a look around, like what's causing price to. Oh, hold on a second. I'm looking at my order information here. It seems like the screen is blank. All right. Can anybody hear me? I didn't want to see that. Mm, mm, mm. Yo, I got so many notifications. It's crazy. It's always when I go live. Maybe there's a certain time in the day. Ooh, 14 notifications. My yikes. Okay. Now, why does I need to shut off here? Goodness gracious. Okay, it looks like, are we back? Nah, doesn't seem like it. Alright, so if you lost me, just click refresh. So I'm just gonna keep talking, and then hopefully everything goes through. But from my end, it seems like the screen is frozen. Okay. Alright, so what I wanted to say is, some most of the time when you're looking at price actions like this, you wanna make sure, okay, how did price break above a high? How price break below a low? Like how fast did they do it? Did they leave any gaps? Um, and then you wanna make sure that if it was like a high speed, if it really break it really fast, you wanna make sure you take a note of that. For example, so we got here like around 9:30. So price open, break lower, you want to make sure you kind of highlight this gap right there. I didn't do it, but it's one other thing you can do. I mean, we're just assuming that you never had wrong selection. Yeah, I need to figure out how to prevent things from moving so slow. Okay, so you do this, and then you highlight that one, and also you highlight this gap right there, the green one. You highlight it, and then at some point, price is gonna trade above this gap here, the 934 gap. Actually, let me see. I would pick this one. No, this one is 929. Never mind. You pick that. That's the right gap. Price is going to trade above it and then sit on top of it and then nail that high here. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen today. I'm just saying when it comes around that, um, don't cut off your trade yet because this is gonna be one of those things gonna trade above, sit on top of it, and then trade much higher. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, all I see is a blank screen. Can I refresh? Give me 1 second.
Connection lost.
Well, doesn't seem like I can change the settings when I'm live. So I guess that's something I'm gonna have to do when I'm offline. Yeah, that would definitely kill the subscribers vibe. Oh, look at this. I lost my connection to Ninja Trader too. Yeah, it's time for a new laptop. And I'm convinced this is the laptop now. I'm gonna make some modifications after the stream. I mean, I make modifications and then everything went smooth, and then after that, the troubles again. Ah, yay, yay. I mean, when I was using StreamYard, I did not have these issues. It's just when I started using Streamlab, I mean, I feel like Streamlab is so dense. Yeah, you need a lot of computing power to deal with all that. Okay, let me see if I can connect again. And while we're doing that, yeah, I may have to go back to StreamYard. Keep things the same way it used to be. Alright, what did I talk about? Oh, I've been meaning to talk about that last week. I mean, this is not a promotion, but the Fibonacci trading, that's a good book to read. Um, I mean, I wouldn't just like pick everything and use everything in there, but it's definitely something that like a book you can pick up and kind of like read over it, see the history behind the golden ratios, why certain numbers are used, how certain level are expected in the Fibonacci, and how you can use that for different markets and looking at different market sensation. That kind of like give you an idea on how to use that. So that's a good book. It's a good read. Let's see what else we got here. No, that is Forex Factor. Yeah, we already covered all of that. I just need this whiteboard to come back. There you go. Now let's see what else I missed out on. So me looking at this, I am not very confident that this price action is gonna go up. I mean, to me, it's too low to go short, and it doesn't give me any indication it's going to move back up. I mean, it seems like it's taking the stairs to go lower. It's definitely taking the elevator and the stairs to go lower at the same time. Let's see here. I mean, look at that. What time is it? It's noon, it's lunchtime. There's a high probability it's just gonna bang around. Yeah, I think it's probably just gonna get here and probably go lower. Let's see if we can put on the trade. See how it pan out. I mean, it's coming. Yeah, to me, it's just too low for it to just plunge lower, much lower. Uh, let's see. What time? What is this one? 5. Yeah, more than likely, what I would like to see is price to trade higher, and then come back into. You see, that's not even like a gap for me to get in. Now, this is one of those trade like it could go either way. Sometimes when you looking at a trade and then you like you don't know what to make out of it. I mean, it's moving so slow, so sluggish, which is my most unfavorable day to do. Like when it's like moving so slow, it's so sluggish, it's undecisive. I hate those days. I'm just gonna sit on my hands and not do much right now at this point. So the reason why is because if price is gonna go higher, it will need a lot of energy to break above this high, and this high, and I just don't see it. I mean, it's lunchtime. I don't see any reason, any catalyst where price is gonna surge higher at this point, which is not why I'm just gonna stay on the side. Now, with that being said, if it gets around to this level right here and then start going lower, then I may entertain it, and because I feel like he has a lot more appetite to go much lower. But I could be wrong. It could just creep its way up, and I hate when the market creeps. And I creep. All right. So if you're in my spot, you'll be like, okay, what do I need to frame out of this to kind of like give me an idea that the market is turning. Um, so let's see. Okay. So to me, I'm looking at this particular area right here. Um, I don't see price coming back and break higher than this one, than this high right here. So if price go above this one or go above this level, let me put that level here. Yes, like this. So when I'm looking at to short this, I'm looking at this level right here to see if price is gonna muster the strength to go above this blue line right here. What is my reason behind that? So think about it. Price tries to go up, go back down. Let me make sure I make this a little bit wider. Come on. Okay. So price most of the strength to go up inside the gap, went lower, go sideways, and then attempt to go higher. Boom, like this way. And then yaga come back much lower than that. So to me, I'm thinking, okay, what would be the whole purpose? The whole why would price trying to go back up again and try to clean up this area, especially if it's so lethargic. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't see price have any interest to go higher than this, which is why I'm thinking you have this highest accumulation of green candles here. Price may end up just coming around this particular area at 25,561 and then bang around it a little bit and then just plunge lower again. Again, that's one particular scenario that I would like to see, and I will start preparing myself to go short when it start getting above that area. Now, if it doesn't even get above this area, which is the 25,537, if it doesn't even get there and start going lower, I'm going short. Yeah, because to me, that particular level is a mitigation level. Okay. So right now at this point, which is why I'm just sitting down, I'm just chilling, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I want my scenario to come to fruition. And even if I wait for my scenario, even if it doesn't come true, I'm I'm still gonna take a look at it, take a screenshot, learn a lesson about it, and then I'm gonna detect later why did it fail. And one of the reasons why I would say it would fail is probably it's been going low and low and low for so long, and then he finally reached a higher time frame level here, and then now it's gonna swing higher for the fences. Okay, so that's one good explanation for that. So guess what? Next time I'm not gonna take that trade, which is another reason why I am not going short from this level because it may knock me out prematurely, and I don't want to go long because it's too lethargic. So that's why I said the best time you're probably gonna see some price action is between 1:30 and 2 p.m. And that's when I'll probably engage the market. But at this point, yeah, it's just gonna do this. Now imagine if I had went long, okay, and then it's doing all of that. It's going sideways like this. It's just very sick, very lethargic. Like, oh, Get to my nerves. I mean, I want to be able to get in and then price just move, baby. Just move. Get in and then make my profit and then I get out. I don't want to sit around and babysit it. Okay. So let me see. I had something in mind and it just escaped it to me. Oh, SMT. That's what I wanted to take a look at. Yeah, sometimes having a scenario in your head, like for generation of idea, is great. But at the end of the day, you want proof and evidence, right? So this is another area of evidence for me. So we'll take a look at that. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for evidence to see if price is planning on going softer or go higher. So what do we have here? So we have the ES. If you take a look at this area right there, mm, and then this is how you would know. So we got this area right there, trade above it. That's nice. And we're gonna take a look at the same area for Nasdaq to try to see if it break above it as well. No, it did not.